So here are the different green flags that, as a dentist, I would look for if I needed a new dentist. Number one, by far, is look for a good listener. A good listener is going to be, one, caring, and two, probably a better doctor. Caring kind of goes without saying. If they care to listen to you, they're going to take the time to do a good job, to do quality work, and to make sure that it fits with your life, your situation. But also, they're probably a better doctor because in order to fix a problem, you have to diagnose it first. And the best way to diagnose a problem is to listen and ask questions. If you don't take the time to do that, if you're not a good listener, you're not going to be as good at figuring out what the root problem is for your dental problems first, which is necessary to fix them properly. Number two, you want a doctor or a dentist who is really good at communicating things well to you and explaining why treatment is needed if it is. You don't want to be in the dark and wonder whether they're making stuff up, but you also don't want somebody who's going to over-explain and use overly scientific medical terminology. Sometimes people do that. They're trying to overcompensate and sound smarter so you trust them, but everybody just ends up confused, which is not good. Number three, you want to look for a dentist that has a great team around them, and ideally a friendly team too. If they have a great team, then you can likely trust that they've spent the time and invested their own energy into training them to be much more like that dentist themselves. If they take the time to invest in their team, then they care about your overall experience. They also probably are pretty picky about hiring and firing to have the right personalities, the right people on that team to take good care of you and the other patients. Number four, really try to find a dentist who has good technique with injections and ideally gives them painlessly, or at least close to. If they care enough to have good technique with their injections, then they probably care a lot about everything else, and they care about keeping you comfortable overall. Number five, what was number five? Oh, you want somebody who does post-op calls after your treatment. Now, this is a lot less common, but if you can find a doctor who's going to call you either the day after or the week after you've had treatment done with them, they really care to make sure your experience is good and that everything is quality and lasts a long time. So that right there is a big green flag. And lastly, you want to find a dentist who tailors everything to your, this goes back to listening, tailors your treatment plan and everything they recommend to your life and your situation. You don't want a one-size-fits-all approach. You want somebody who's going to listen to you, but then also use that information to help.